Hello friends, welcome to Affairs Cloud Learn to Lead. This is Ashu and today we will discuss very important current affairs of 26th of June 2021. You can see two best images of the day, but today we will discuss very important and the most important current affair. So watch this video till last. But guys, you can download our application, that is Careers Cloud, and the link is given in the description box. You can log in with your email ID and you have to click on this crack current affair section if you want to subscribe for 1 year as well as for 2 years. Both the subscription prices are very much low. If you see the price, you will definitely surprise. And the most important thing, we are providing 90 to 95% of those current affairs which are coming in your exams. This is genuinity. This is hard work of Affairs Cloud team. How we are covering this type of the current affairs? We are providing daily current affairs section. In the daily section, you will receive three type of things. One is detailed current affair, question and answer format, and quiz section, which you can attempt on our application on daily basis. Next is the weekly section. In the weekly, you will receive three type of the things. One is detailed current affair, second question and answer format of current affair. Third is the quiz section, which you can attempt on our application on weekly basis. Most important is monthly section. We are providing four type of PDFs. One is detailed current affair, second question and answer format of current affair. Best 100 current affair will be provided in the form of question and answer and the pocket PDF. It means 2-liners and the 3-liners current affair will be provided under this PDF so that you can revise in the quick format before your exam. To enhance your performance in the exam, we are also providing topic-wise current affair, or you can say smart PDFs. We are covering 20 most important topics which are very important for every type of exam. So it means if you want to revise all the related news of single topic, then you have to use this type of the section. If you are a banking aspirant, then we are providing three type of things. One is detail and the question and answer format of current affairs only related to banking and economy. And third is the quiz section, which you can attempt on our application on monthly basis. If you want to cover all the current affairs of 2021 just from single PDF, like 5 to 6 month current affair we already covered. So you want to cover these current affairs just from single PDF, you have to use this exam PDF. We are also providing budget and economic survey. It means detailed budget and economic survey will be provided to you. And we are also providing expected question and answer which can come in your exam. We are also providing state current affair. If you are appearing for your state exam, then this will help you. And we are providing these current affairs for every state and union territory. So this is very important. So all these current affairs are provided under one subscription. You have to just download our application. Application name is Careers Cloud, and you can download this application from the description box link, and you have to click on this Gmail ID and you can log in. And after this, you can click on this crack current affair section for subscription of all these current affairs. You can subscribe for 1 year as well as for 2 years. Price is very much low. If you see the price, you will definitely surprise. And on that minimal price, we are providing 10% extra discount if you use this code ASH10. And guys, if you have any query, then you can email us on this ID, and you can also contact us on this number. So let's start today's current affair, that is 26th of June 2021. But I'm again requesting you, all the students, that you have to like this video, you have to share this video as maximum as possible, and you have to subscribe this channel if you are new on this platform. And guys, one thing more important, you can join our Telegram group from the description box link. So let's begin today's session with the most important question. Here is the first question. Which state became the first rabies-free state in India? So most important question, and answer of this question is Goa. So you can see here, Goa, it is the first rabies-free state in the country, because recently the Chief Minister of Goa, Pramod Sawant, announced that Goa became the first rabies-free state in India, as it has not reported a single rabies case in the last 3 years. In the last 3 years, there is no case related to rabies. And you can see here, central government even grant this project known as Mission Rabies, play a major role in control of the rabies. And according to this data of the central government, Goa has vaccinated almost 540,000 dogs against the rabies in dogs and educated nearly 1 lakh people dog bite prevention across Goa. And this state government has also set up an emergency hotline for 24 hours rabies surveillance and a rapid response team for the dog bite victims. So that's why Goa became the first rabies-free state in India. So remember this. And Goa's capital is Panaji. Governor is Bhagat Singh Kishori. Chief Minister is Pramod Sawant. There is very important national park, that is Molam National Park. You have to remember Molam National Park and Bhagwan Mahavir. Bhagwan Mahavir National Park is also there, but Molam is very important. Moving to next question. Which institute ranked the best in India in the QS Executive MBA Ranking 2021 of Quackery Siemens? The most important thing under this question, or the keyword of this question, is QS Executive MBA Ranking 2021, and this is released by Quacquarelli Siemens. And remember, this company belongs to United Kingdom, or this organization headquarters is in London, United Kingdom. And according to this data from Indian side, this institute, IIM Bangalore, topped under this index. You can see here World University Rankings, and it is Executive MBA ranking of 2021. Only MBA colleges are ranked under this list, and IIM Bangalore ranked the best in India from Indian side. Otherwise, globally, its rank is 39th, but from the Indian side, it is on the top position. So QS Executive MBA ranking is basically released by Quacquarelli Siemens, and globally it holds 39th spot. Remember, 39th spot, but it became the only Indian institute to feature in the list of the top 100. It means out of the top 100, only one Indian institute topped under the MBA list. This is IIM Bengaluru. And in the Asia Pacific category, IIM Bengaluru holds the 10th spot. So if we are only talking about the Asia Pacific category, all the countries here, India's this IIM Bengaluru ranks on the 10th spot. And globally, if we are talking about all global MBA colleges, then France HEC Paris tops the ranking. It means on the first position, it is France MBA college, which is known as HEC Paris, and overall 39th spot to the IIM Bengaluru. And guys, recently QS also published one ranking which is known as World University Ranking of 2022. And according to this data, IISc Bengaluru was top the ranked from the Indian university side, and according to the 18th edition of the QS University World Ranking 2022. This is most important, even it is more important than this MBA ranking. So remember, it is IISc Bengaluru, or Indian Institute of Science Bengaluru. You can also see here Indian Institute of Science Bengaluru named top research university out of the 3 Indian universities, or the institution is top 100. So it means we are covering two things very important. One is the QS ranking, and they release two type of the ranking. One is the MBA colleges ranking. In the MBA, it is IIM Bengaluru. Overall ranking, it is IISc Bengaluru. Now we can move to the next question. So all the most important questions are covered. We discussed 2 questions today, but now we are moving to the very important question section. You have to like this video, share this video as maximum as possible, and you have to subscribe this channel if you are new on this platform. And guys, remember, you can join our Telegram group from the description box link. Here is the question. Which state signed MOU with the United Kingdom government to strengthen the startup ecosystem? So very important keyword under this question, that this MOU is signed with the United Kingdom government, and it is for the startup ecosystem, especially for the clean energy and green energy technological startup. And answer of this question is Maharashtra. You can see here Maharashtra signed MOU with the United Kingdom government to strengthen startups ecosystem. And you can see here its main objective is to strengthen the clean energy and green energy technological startup ecosystem in the Maharashtra. The MOU will strengthen the existing startup ecosystem by accelerating technological innovations which addresses urgent climate change challenges and use the potential of the emerging technologies to drive sustainable economic growth in both countries like United Kingdom and especially in India. The MOU will strengthen the existing startup. This is important. And there is one platform which is known as Act for Green program. Act for Green program aims to enable the India and the United Kingdom startups to expand internally by providing market entry support in their respective cross-border markets in interest. It will strengthen the strategic links between India and United Kingdom innovation ecosystem. That's why it is known as Act for Green. So it aims to enable the India and UK startups to expand internally. So remember the important keywords here, Maharashtra and UK government, and it is for the technological startup which are basically related for the clean energy. So Maharashtra Chief Minister is Uddhav Thackeray. I think all the students know this. And Governor, same as Goa, Bhagat Singh Kishori. And 2 very important national parks are there. Like one is Tadoba National Park. Second is Sanjay Gandhi National Park. So remember these 2. Very important. Moving to next question. 16th meeting of Security Council Secretaries of Shanghai Cooperation Organization held at which place? So this is related to the Security Council Secretaries, and it is related to Shanghai Cooperation Organization, and it is hosted by which country? So answer of this question is Tajikistan, and it is held in the capital of Tajikistan, which is Dushanbe. So guys, remember, exact place can be asked by the examiner. Exact place is Dushanbe, and the country is Tajikistan. So the meeting was held in between 23 and 24th of June 2021, and it was chaired by the Tajikistan, or you can say the chairmanship of SCO of 2021 lies with Tajikistan. So you can remember these things because these are important. Like BRICS chairmanship lies with India. You can remember 2021 chairmanship lies with India. And G7 chairmanship of 2021 lies with the United Kingdom. And guys, G20 chairmanship lies with Italy 2021. And ASEAN chairmanship lies with Brunei. So you can remember. And SCO chairmanship of 2021 lies with Tajikistan. So this is important. All the things are very, very important. So you can see here, National Security Advisor Ajit Doval represented India and attends the 16th meeting of the SCO meet in Dushanbe. And you can see here, Dushanbe is the capital of Tajikistan. You can remember this. And all the countries discussed key regional security issues and also about the current situation in the Afghanistan. Even all the participants also pledged cooperation in the joint fight against international terrorism, extremism, separatism, religious radicalism, which is now increasing, especially in Afghanistan, organized crime and drug trafficking. And India underlined the need to monitor new technologies used by terrorists like drones for smuggling of weapons and misuse of dark web or the artificial intelligence, blockchain or the social media, because nowadays terrorists are so much smart that they are using so much technology. Even they are using artificial intelligence. So we have to use, you can say, the new artificial technology so that we can tackle these type of the terrorism activities. And you can also remember about this. This is Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Total member countries are 8. You can see here the picture. 8 countries are like India. You can say the neighboring countries. China and Pakistan is also the member. Russia is also member. So Kazakhstan. Next is, you can say here, Kazakhstan. Next is Uzbekistan, and third one is the Tajikistan. So these countries are member like Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Russia, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, China, India, Pakistan. So these 8 are the basically members, and there are 4 observer countries. One is Afghanistan, Belarus, Iran, and Mongolia. This can be asked because there are limited countries, so that's why it can be asked. Afghanistan, Belarus, Iran, Mongolia. So remember this, or you can remember ABIM. ABIM. So recently one exercise was also held between the member countries of SCO like India, Pakistan, China, and the other members of SCO will take part in the joint anti-terrorism exercise, which is known as PUBG anti-terrorism exercise of 2021. It is scheduled to take place in 2021. It's you can say pilot basis exercise already conducted, but it is known as PUBG anti-terror. So you have to remember it is the SCO exercise. And Shanghai Cooperation Organization headquarters in Beijing, China, and this organization was established in the year of 2001, and India and Pakistan joined Shanghai Cooperation in 2017. You have to remember India and Pakistan joined in 2017. So very simple question. SCO chairmanship lies with the Tajikistan, so that's why it is hosted by Tajikistan. This is the main keyword. So now we are moving to next question. Which bank launched Arogyam Healthcare Business Loan for the healthcare sector? So the very important keyword is the name of the loan scheme. It is Arogyam Healthcare Business Loan, and it is started by State Bank of India. So the country's largest lender, State Bank of India, launched this scheme or the loan scheme for the healthcare sector to extend loan support in the view of the novel coronavirus pandemic. You can see here SBI launched this Arogyam Healthcare Business Loan, and you can see here loans up to rupees 100 crore can be availed by the entire healthcare ecosystem and repayable in the time period of the 10 years. These are divided in the different categories, like loans up to 100 crore can be availed in the metro cities, loans up to 20 crore can be availed in the urban centers, and the cities who are small urbans or small urban centers, loans up to 10 crore can be availed by these centers. So the new loans may be availed by the way of the cash credit, term loan, bank guarantee, letter of credit, any way can be used. And collateral or security is not required to be offered by the banks for loan up to rupees 2 crore. It means if you are taking the loans below than 2 crore, then there is no pledging security requirement. So this is said by the State Bank of India. So you have to remember this, because this will be covered under the guarantee scheme of the Credit Guarantee Fund Trust for the micro small enterprises. So it is not important. You have to just remember the name of the scheme, and you have to remember the name of the bank. SBI is very important because it was established by the Act of SBI. Basically, Imperial Bank of India, which was established in 1921, was renamed as State Bank of India in 1955 according to SBI Act of 1955 on 1st July. This is exact date. Chairman is Dinesh Kumar Khara, headquarters in Mumbai, and the tagline is the banker to every bank. So remember these things. Moving to next question. Clovia, in partnership with which insurance company, launched an insurance policy named as Women's Cancer Shield? So the very important keyword here is the Women Cancer Shield, and it is launched by one of very important company which is known as Clovia. And second, you have to remember the name of the insurance company. And the name of insurance company is Alliance Insurance. And guys, remember, Clovia is a women personal care brand. And they launched this Women Cancer Shield program with the help of the Alliance Insurance. So its main objective is to reinforce awareness to the breast cancer. So you can see here, Clovia partners with the Alliance Insurance launch this insurance policy, which is known as breast cancer. And you can see here, for breast cancer female patients, so this is the keyword, Alliance Insurance act as an insurance partner and facilitate the breast cancer insurance policy. This is the work of Alliance Insurance. What is the work of Clovia? Clovia act as a medium to make the insurance reach the customers through its platform. So in simple word, you can say that the customers of Clovia can avail these type of the insurance scheme, and this insurance scheme will be provided by Alliance Insurance, but customers will be provided by the Clovia. So you can say, on the purchase of certain value of the Clovia's website, it will provide insurance policy cover of rupees 25,000 to the female customer if the age group is in between 18 to 65. It means if you are purchasing something from the Clovia, because Clovia is a women personal care brand, and then they will provide you like 25,000 insurance policy to the female customer, because it is related to Women Cancer Shield policy, and the age group is 18 to 65. And the policy could be claimed in case of being diagnosed with the breast cancer, and tenure of this insurance policy is 1 year, and within a waiting period of 90 days. But you don't have to remember what is this policy. You don't have to remember the detail of this policy. So you have to remember just the name of the policy. It is provided by which insurance company, and the customers will be provided by which company. So these three things are very important. So Alliance Insurance was not so much in news, so that's why it is not so much important company. But you can read this, that it was established in 2003. Its headquarters is in Mumbai, Maharashtra. And according to World Health Organization data, in India, every 4 minutes a woman is diagnosed with breast cancer, and it is accounting for 14% of cancers in the Indian women. So you can just read this, because this is you can say very much or the serious health concern related to women. So now we can move to the next question. Alliance Insurance is not important. Just remember three keywords: Women Cancer Shield, insurance company is Alliance Insurance, and name of the company is Clovia. Moving to next question. Which organization has approved $125 million program under the Resilient Kerala program? So the very important keyword here is the Resilient Kerala program. It was launched by basically the Kerala government with the help of the World Bank in 2019, because of the, you can say, the heavy floods in the Kerala. And you can remember, now World Bank basically provided $125 million, and answer of this question is D. So World Bank approved the first Resilient Kerala Development Policy operation, and then it was costing like $250 million in June 2019 for Kerala to undertake several initiatives. And guys, you can also remember, it will strengthen the River Basin Conservation and Management Authority. You can see here, World Bank approved $125 million program to support green and resilient Kerala. And it will strengthen the River Basin Conservation and Management Authority to, you can say, regulate the state's water resources and ensure its sustainable management, allocation, and the utilization. It will set up an integrated agriculture management information system for the precision farming, and will upgrade 400 km of the core road network through output and performance-based road maintenance contracts. It will set up an integrated agriculture management information system. You can also remember this, especially if you belongs to Kerala. It is to support Kerala's preparedness against the natural disasters, climate change impacts, and the COVID-19, especially for the natural disasters like the floods due to the retreating monsoon. So this is very important. So guys, remember, it is for the Kerala resilient economy, and it will be provided by World Bank, and the total amount is $125 million. Already World Bank approved the first Resilient Kerala Development Policy in 2019, and then they provided US $250 million. So guys, remember about World Bank. World Bank headquarters is Washington DC. Its member countries are 189. Don't confuse it with International Monetary Fund. Earlier it was same, the member countries were same, but now IMF member countries are 190 because Andorra was recently ended. President is David Malpass. He is the 13th president of this World Bank, and remember, the headquarters is in Washington DC, already covered. So this thing is very important. And remember about Kerala also. Kerala's chief minister recently again elected, that is Pinarayi Vijayanji, and governor is Arif Muhammad Khan. Arif Muhammad Khan, and there are very important national parks in Kerala. One is Annai Mudi. Anamudi or Anaimudi Shola National Park, Iravikulam, very important, Iravikulam National Park. Next is Periyar National Park. Periyar National Park. Silent Valley, very important. Silent Valley. So these four are very, very important. Periyar, Silent Valley, Anaimudi, Iravikulam, very important national parks. And you can even remember Pampadam. Pampadam. P-A-M-P-A. Pampadam Shola National Park. Korean Shola National Park is in Tamil Nadu, but Pampadam Shola National Park is in Kerala. Moving to next question. Who will be the chairman of the committee formed by the International Financial Services Center Authority to examine ship financing and leasing? So the main keyword under this question, that this committee is formed by International Financial Service Center Authority. It is to examine the ship financing and leasing. The chairman of this committee is Vandana Agarwal. So International Financial Service Center Authority has constituted a committee under the chairmanship of Vandana Agarwal, former senior economic advisor to Government of India, to examine the global best practices in ship financing and leasing. And this committee will also identify the opportunity and devise a roadmap to enable such you can say activities from the GIFT city, or you can say the Gujarat International Financial Technological City. So answer of this question is Vandana Agarwal, because it is related to International Financial Service Center Authority. That's why this question is very important. You can see here the picture of Vandana. IFSCA forms panel chaired by the Vandana Agarwal to examine best practices in the ship financing and the leasing. And the committee will examine the existing legal, regulatory texts and other applicable frameworks, identifying and restrictions related of ship financing and leasing, and recommended specific measures regarding them to the International Financial Service Center. So the main objective of this International Financial Service Center here to make GIFT City an international hub for the ship financing and the leasing activities. So this is important. And you can also remember about this organization, International Financial Service Center Authority. Its headquarters is in GIFT City, that is in Gandhinagar. So remember, its headquarters is in Gandhinagar, Gujarat. And this organization was established in 2020 with the Act of International Financial Service Act of 2019. Its first chairperson, even current chairperson, is Injati Srinivas. He is also the first chairman. You have to remember, this is important question. This can be asked in the banking exam. Remember this. Moving to next question. What is the name of the nuclear capable subsonic cruise missile which DRDO successfully test fired recently? So the very important keyword here is nuclear capable subsonic cruise missile, and you can remember it is India's first indigenously developed cruise missile. So the keyword is cruise missile. Answer of this question is Nirbhay. You can see here India successfully test fired nuclear capable cruise missile Nirbhay. The important keyword here is the India's first indigenously developed cruise missile, and you can also see here it is India's first indigenously developed cruise missile. The missile has a range of 1000 kilometers. So remember the range, it can be asked, and it is capable of reaching a speed of 0.6 to 0.7 Mach. But you don't have to remember the speed, you have to remember the capability, that is the range, 1000 kilometer. It can be launched from all three platforms like land, sea and air. And Nirbhay is designed and developed in India by the Aeronautical Development Establishment, which comes under the DRDO. And guys, remember Nirbhay is a terrain hugging missile, which making it difficult to detect by the enemy enemy radars. Even Nirbhay is very much equivalent to the Tomahawk, T-O-M-A, Tomahawk. Even I think we are included in the option. Yes, here is the Tomahawk and here is Babar. Babar is basically related to Pakistan and Tomahawk is related to United States of America. And this Nirbhay missile is very much equivalent to Tomahawk missile of United States of America and Babar missile of the Pakistan. So you can remember this. And guys, remember about DRDO. DRDO headquarters is in New Delhi and its chairman is Dr. G. Satish Reddy. Moving to next question. World's first genetically modified rubber sapling was planted in which state? So the most important thing under this question is it is world's first genetically modified rubber sapling, and it is planted in which state? It is planted in Guwahati, Assam. So answer of this question is B. You can see here Assam gets the world first genetically modified rubber sapling. And guys, it is developed by the Kerala-based Rubber Research Institute of India under the Rubber Board through the long years of research in its biotechnological laboratory. And this genetically modified rubber plant, the first of its kind, developed exclusively for the northeastern state, and it is expected to thrive in the climatic conditions of the region. And you can also see here, it is basically planted exact places Guwahati in Assam, and it is developed by Kerala based Rubber Research Institute of India under the Rubber Board of India. And guys, remember, this genetically modified rubber plant is inserted with the additional copies of the gene, and it is to tie over the severe cold conditions during the winter, which is a major factor affecting the growth of the young rubber plants. And remember about Assam capital is Dispur, and Chief Minister is Himant Biswa Sarma, and Governor is Jagdish Mukhi. Jagdish Mukhi. And guys, remember, there are total 7 national parks in Assam. First one is Kaziranga National Park. I think all the students know. Manas National Park, Nameri National Park, Dibru Shaikova, one of the biosphere reserve and also the national park. Next is you can say Dibru Shaikova. Next is Orang National Park. Yes, Orang, Kaziranga, Manas, Nameri, Dibru. These are the 5 national parks here. Recently, like, added 6th national park in Assam. This is Raimona National Park. But in June 2021, 7th national park was also added. It is known as Dehing Patkai. Remember, this is very important question. This question can come. Dehing Patkai National Park is recently added, like in the June 2021, as a 7th national park of Assam. Moving to next question, but it is from picture. Prime Minister Narendra Modi interacts with the participants through the video conference in the Toykathon 2021. Toykathon is a mixture of 2 words. It is a toy and hackathon. So Toy Hackathon is known as Toykathon. So you can remember this. So it is the first of its kind initiative in India which aims to crowdsource innovative toys and games ideas which are based on India's culture, you can say the civilization, history, mythology and the ethos. But the most important market of the toys all over world is China. So we have to reduce the imports of the China in the toy sector, and we have to develop these toys indigenously. So that's why we launched this Toy Hackathon, and it is for the innovative ideas related to toys and games, and it should be on the lines with the Indian culture and civilization, especially the history, mythology and the ethos. And the grand finale of the Toy Hackathon was virtually inaugurated by the Samriti Irani and Sanjay Dhotre. Samriti Irani is basically Union Minister of Women and Child Development, and Sanjay Dhotre is currently the Minister of State for Education. And it was held from 22nd June to 24th of June. Physical events will be organized separately for the non-digital toy concepts. So basically, India imports 80% of the toys, most of which are made of plastic that are dangerous to the children, and specially imported from China. And this hackathon aims to make India Atmanirbhar in the toy sector and also make it a hub for the global toy manufacturing industry. So 2 ministries are involved. One is the Ministry of Education, second is the Ministry of Women and Child Development. Union Minister of Education is Ramesh Pokhriyal ji, and Ramesh Pokhriyal constituency is Haridwar. Haridwar is in Uttarakhand. And Minister of Women and Child Development is Samriti Irani, and constituency, I think all the students know, this is Amethi, because she defeated Rahul Gandhi in Amethi. So remember this. Now we can move to next question. Indian Air Force and Indian Navy conducted a passage exercise with which country recently? So answer of this question is United States of America. So the main aim of this exercise, this passage exercise, is to strengthen bilateral relationship through integration and coordination in maritime operation like search and rescue, along with exchange of the best practices in the domain of the maritime air power. That's why there is Indian Air Force and Indian Navy is included. So you can see here, Indian Air Force and Indian Navy conducted a passage exercise with the United States Navy in the Indian Ocean region. And you can also see here, this exercise was carried out to the south of the Trivandrum in Kerala. And India was represented by Indian naval ship Kochi and INS Teg, along with the Poseidon 8I, which was also basically we purchased from the United States of America, and MiG-29K aircraft. So you have to just remember, this is a passage exercise, and the exercise included advanced air defense exercises, cross-deck helicopter operations and the anti-submarine exercises. And both sides demonstrated their war fighting skills and also showed integration to promote peace, security and stability in the maritime domain. And recently, guys, this is very important, even more important than this question, navies of the Quad countries like India, Australia, Japan and United States of America. So these are the Quad countries. participated in the multilateral French maritime exercise, which is known as La Pros, in the Eastern Indian Ocean region, which was led by the French Navy, or French, you can say, Navy. So this is important, and it was the first time ever that Indian Navy participated in the French defense exercise. So this is important. And remember, United States capital is Washington DC, currency is dollar, president is Joe Biden, or Joseph Biden, or full name is Joseph Robinette Biden Jr. So this is full name. I think many students don't know. I am writing here Joseph Robinette or Robinette Biden Jr. So this is the full name. And Indian ambassador to United States of America, it is Taranjit Singh Sandhu. Taranjit Singh Sandhu. Most important position, you can say, in the United States from Indian side. It is the ambassador to United States of America. Moving to next question. Who addressed third Confederation of Indian Industries Northern Region Food Processing Summit of 2021? So why we are covering this question in the very important section? Because it is related to Confederation of Indian Industry. So by default, answer is very simple, that Northern Region Food Processing Summit. So by default, the Union Minister of Food Processing will attend this summit. Answer of this question is Narendra Singh Tomar. So very simple question. So Union Minister of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare Narendra Singh Tomar addressed Confederation of Indian Industry Northern Region Food Processing Summit of 2021, and government has laid and launched a new production linked incentive, which is known as the PLI scheme for food processing industry, under which 11,000 crore will be spent, and it was launched as a part of Self-Reliant India campaign. And Center has asked Confederation of Indian Industry to conduct a comparative study on the available food grains and horticulture resources with their processing level, and the study will aid the center government in preparing strategy to fill the gap. So emphasis was laid on the collaboration of the government and industry in the area of fortification of the processed food. So don't remember anything, just remember it is related to Confederation of Indian Industry, which was established in 1895, and its name was in 1895 as Engineering and Iron Trade Association. Director General currently is Chandrajit Banerjee, headquarters in New Delhi. Moving to next section, it is our important question section. You have to like this video, share this video as maximum as possible, and subscribe this channel if you're new on this platform, and you can join our Telegram channel. So guys, here is the question. Triton electric vehicles to set up rupees 2100 crore manufacturing facility in which state? So I think all the students know this thing, because we covered like 2 or 3 days back this question, that government has planned, already targeted, that 30% of the total vehicles till the date of 2030 will be electric vehicles. So this is a new target of the center government. So we have to achieve this manufacturing facility of the electric vehicles. Now Triton Electric Vehicle Company also plan to set up a 2100 crore manufacturing facility in Telangana. You have to just read this news because it is in the important section. And this 2100 crore for the manufacturing of 50,000 vehicles over the first 5 years. This is the target. And you can see here, manufacturing unit of electric vehicles in Zahirabad. Exact place is Zahirabad. If you belongs to Telangana, you have to remember. And they will manufacture of 50,000 vehicles over the first 5 years. This is the target of the Triton. And remember about Telangana. Telangana's capital is Hyderabad. Governor is Tamilisaya Soundararajan. And remember, Tamilisaya Soundararajan is also the governor of Puducherry. And Chief Minister is K. Chandrasekhar Rao. And you can remember 3 very important national parks in, you can say, the Telangana. 2 are very important. One is Mahavir Harina Vansthali National Park. Next is Mrugavani. Mrugavani is very important. Mrugavani National Park. And second is Kasu Reddy. You can remember. KASU. Kasu Reddy National Park. So remember this. Moving to next question. So it is from picture. 275 million people use drugs worldwide in 2020. So it is a report which is prepared by UNDDC. So one thing is important at this question, that United Nations Office on the Drugs and Crime released a report which is known as World Drug Report of 2021, which states that 275 million people use drugs worldwide in 2020, of which 36.3 million people, or 13%, suffered from the drug use disorders. And opioids contribute the largest burden of the disease due to drug use. So remember, United Nations Office on the Drugs and Crime, its headquarters is in Vienna, Austria. So now we are moving to the one-liner important points. And here is the first point. India's bank credit to GDP ratio increased to 56% approximately in 2020, but still behind peers. It is Bank for International Settlement. So the very important keyword under this question is this bank's credit to GDP ratio. Bank credit growth, which is a key indicator of economic growth, is represented by bank credit to GDP ratio. A higher credit to GDP ratio indicates the active participation of the banking sector in the real economy. In turn, the lower number represents the need for more formal credit. It means already if it is high, then it means the you can say the lending capacity of the banks is high and they are lending so much money. But if it is low, then it means there is a need for more formal credit. So as per the economists and analysts, the privatization of the state-run banks will lead to increased credit growth. So it is now 56.075% in 2020, but is still behind the peers. And it is by the Bank for International Settlement. So remember, Bank for International Settlement headquarters is in Basel, Switzerland. They are also preparing the Basel norms. And this Bank for International Settlement was established in 1930. And its member countries are 63 central banks and the monetary authorities. Next, Reliance to invest 75,000 INR, 75,000 crore INR in the clean energy business. So you have to just read this news because there was 44th annual general meeting 2021 of Reliance Industry, which was held virtually, and Reliance will invest 75,000 crore in clean energy business. Reliance Jio will partner with the Google Cloud to launch 5G services in India, and the chairman of Saudi you can say company will also join a Reliance board as an independent director, and so many things. So even Reliance is set to invest in the setting up of India's first carbon fiber manufacturing unit. So they will invest 75,000 crore. India's engineering research and development market to reach USD 63 billion by 2025. It is by NASSCOM. So it is a survey of NASSCOM. And you have to remember about NASSCOM. NASSCOM is National Association of Software and Services Company, and it is an Indian non-governmental trade association and advocacy group focused mainly on the information technology and the business process outsourcing industry. And this was established in 1988 as same as the SEBI, and its headquarters is in New Delhi. Its president is R. Chandrasekhar, but chairperson is UB Praveen Rao. And remember this thing only. Next is Euphlyctis Kerala, new species of the skittering frog discovered around the Thakkada bird sanctuary. So two things are important, or you can just read that Euphlyctis Kerala is basically a species of frog. Second, it is discovered in Thakkada bird sanctuary, which is situated in Kerala. So remember this. Day of the Seafarer 2021 is celebrated on 25th of June. So it is United Nations Day of Seafarer, and it is annually observed across the globe on 25th of June to recognize the contribution of the seafarers toward the global trade and economy. Its main objective is to create awareness and educate the public about the danger faced by the seafarers during the sea travel. And the day is celebrated by International Maritime Organization, IMO. International Maritime Headquarters is in London, United Kingdom, not in Geneva, because many students think that which organization is starting with O and ending with starting with I and ending with O, the headquarters is in Geneva. No, International Maritime Organization headquarters is in London, United Kingdom, and it was established in 1948. Next, World Vitiligo Day 2021. It is also celebrated on 25th of June. And guys, remember, it is annually observed to create awareness about vitiligo, and a rare skin disease that affects around 1 to 2% of the global population. And the day also marks the death anniversary of the American singer Michael Jackson, king of pop, who was also diagnosed with the vitiligo. And Michael Jackson passed in the 2009 on the same day, 25th of June. So it means 2021 marks as the 11th anniversary of this, you can say, World Vitiligo Day. So just remember this, and there is an organization which is known as Vitiligo Sport for the Awareness Foundation, which headquarters is in Nigeria. But don't remember, this day is not so much important. Next is the question of the day. What was the question of 25th of June 2021? Question was, which section was added in the Banking Regulation Act to include the cooperative banks under its purview? So first of all, you have to remember the year. In 1965, the Act was amended to include cooperative banks under the purview of the RBI by adding the Section 56. So Section 56 related to the cooperative banks regulation, which operate only in one state, are formed and run by the state government. So answer of this question is B, Section 56. Now, moving to question of the day. Question of the day is, who was the Prime Minister of India when banking nationalization firstly done in 1969 when 14 banks were nationalized? So, answer is very simple. Even if you know the Prime Minister, then this is the question and you can give. And if you know the list of the Prime Minister, because the Prime Minister was very famous. Now, you have to like this video, you have to share this video and subscribe this channel, guys. This is our motivation basically. And you can press this bell button and you can join a Telegram group for the further notifications. And it is my personal promise that if you're watching the videos and if you're reading the current affairs from the slides, then your current affairs section will go strong. And guys, thank you for watching this video. Don't take life so much serious. Life is fun. Always be happy. Always be happy, because happiness is the key of success. Thank you guys. Take care and bye-bye.